In this video, I'm going to deliver on the topic early adulthood. So, in this early adulthood, we are just going to see on the meaning of early adulthood. So, when it comes to this meaning of adult, we can say that it is come from an Latin word which is adolescere, which is a meaning of to grow to maturity. So, to grow to maturity in the sense, it also means that we have physical and the psychological maturity happens during this age. And this adult word can also be derived as an adultus, which also means that it is the phase where maturity hits at its highest level. So here adultus means, which is a meaning for the word adult. So adultus means to grow to full size and strength. We say that adulthood is a phase where we have a fullest growth of our psychological and physiological aspect, and also it states that we get mature during this adulthood phase. uh, it's nothing but a phase, but actually a whole period. So adults are individuals who have completed their physical growth during this phase, and also they are ready to assume roles and also responsibilities in society. So these are the meaning of adulthood, and then let's move on to the next thing, which is adulthood and cultural differences. So here, when it comes to categorizing this adulthood phase, we can categorize it by their age, but different cultures seems to have different adulthood phase. For example, in American culture, they have this legal adulthood age as 21 years old, which was the age limit they had earlier. But now they have it as the legal adulthood age begins from 18 years old, like 18 years itself. So when it comes to uh, adulthood, we how this culture influences is that in a way where the older cultures seems to carry this norms, like when an individual hits puberty, as their physic and sex organs uh, grow at an like very thing, so they can procreate during this phase, where after puberty they can procreate. Those they are the key markers, so that they believe that soon after an individual hits puberty, they are ready to procreation, so they are considered to be an adulthood. And also we say that adulthood and lifespan, where this is the phase, it is an longest phase in our lifespan, where it is around from 18 years old and till to the last over 60s and 80s. Okay. And as it uh, like occurs or carryovers for over many decades, we say that it is a longest phase of human lifespan. And then when we move on to this changes during adulthood, we say that adulthood involves like predictable physical changes and also psychological changes. In every like developmental stage of our life, we go through several physical and psychological changes. As similar to childhood and adolescence, we in adulthood also tend to have these changes. Okay, so these comes under this changes during adulthood. And if we move on to the sub stages of adulthood, we have three stages. Okay, so this adulthood is divided into stages based on timing of physical and psychological changes, adult adjustment problems, and cultural expectations and pressure. So these are some like factors that influence the like subdivisions of this adulthood. So when we come to early adulthood, which has the age of 18 to 40 years, we consider it as an early adulthood. So also from 40 years to 60 years, we consider it as an middle adulthood. And from late adulthood, we'll consider this age above 60 years onwards, we say it as an late adulthood or old age. So these are some divisions of adulthood. So in this chapter, we are going to see on the early adulthood, which will be focused on this 18 to 40 years of age. So when it comes to early adulthood, which is the age from 18 to 40 years, it begins and ends at 18 and 40 years respectively. So in this period, there will be a peak physical strength and psychological functioning. Okay. So initial physical and psychological changes will be related to a gradual loss of reproductive capacity. Mm, like during this phase, there will be a at these end of this phase, you will have this uh, gradual decrease in the reproductive system, the reproductive capacity. So this phase is where generally the early adulthood, uh, like the adults in this early adulthood will focus on careers, establishment, relationships, and even the independence. So when it comes to middle adulthood, which is called as middle age, which is from 40 to 60 years, we say that here there will be a very noticeable physical change, such as reduced stamina. So here, and also some psychological changes and happens here. So there will be some decline in their like the functioning, the cognitive functioning. So all such things can be a decline in psychological aspect. So here in this phase, they'll have increased responsibilities related to work, family, and society. And initially, in early adulthood, they would have developed their interests and their working culture, everything. So here is there involves the family, and also this the work burden and the responsibilities might increase during this phase. And then let's move on to this late adulthood, which is also called as old age. So here we have this, in this old age, we consider the ages like it should be above 60 years onwards. So during this age period where it extends from 16 years to till death, so we consider this as an old age. So this old age is also known as senescence age. So here, physical and psychological decline begins more rapid. So here we have this Alzheimer's disease. So we have some clinical aspects as well during this phase, and also health might decrease, and like memory and cognition, everything might decrease here in this phase. So like here the individuals in this phase needs medical care and grooming, and they also need some help with their even with their regular day-to-day activities. So these are some characteristics in this old age or late adulthood. And we move on to the next one, which is nature of adult divisions, which is so here we have certain things which is responsible for this division of like the subdivisions of adulthood. So what they say is the changes here may happen due to their appearance, body functions, their interests, attitudes, and behaviors. So these are not just fixed, it can be vary from one individual to another. And the next one is individual differences. So not all individual will experience all these in a systematic and an orderly manner, but some might have different aspects, different experiences. So the timing of these changes depends on how what the individual's personality is, and how their lifestyle is, and what subculture they are in. So these are some factors which will influence the occurrence of uh, these adulthood, like occurrence of different adulthood in their individual's life. So this is for early adulthood.